Hey folks, this is Mike Acton with Array Information Technology. We often get asked what Array Information Technology provides in terms of solutions, what we do, how you work with Array. So I have myself and two of my colleagues, esteemed senior engineers from Array, Bill Osterhout and Frank Manuel with me. And we're going to do a quick rundown of what Array does, what we provide, how we see things, in case you're interested in doing some work with us. So, let's start out with, Array, right? Kind of who is Array Information Technology? I would say that we are an interesting company. We are a system integrator that endeavors to be incredibly innovative. So we are looking to deliver high quality innovation as quickly as possible. That's really what we're all about. We want to provide modern solutions to our customers that are going to take them well into the future. And so we're using advanced, proven technologies. We're sticking with the best platforms, best of breed, industry best practice standards going forward, and that's kind of what we do. So I guess the best way to put it is we're a system integrator that is focused on application services. In other words, developing applications, maintaining applications, evolving applications, looking at new ways and new technologies to make applications better, application frameworks, better ways to interact with the data. And we're really focused on the user, right? And we do a lot of work with the Department of Defense, federal government, state and local. But we're really focused on that end user. A lot of times it is a military member that needs to accomplish a mission. So we're really focused there, and we use our information technology techniques and solutions to go from there. And we'll talk about the solutions that we do in just a second. But first, again, talking about who is Array Information Technology, I want to kick it over, to Bill Osterhout and get his take on who we are and what we provide and how we provide it and how that is a bit unique. So, Bill, why don't you give your thoughts on who is Array and what do we do and how do we do it?
Well, I would say, Array is an IT company at its core, focused on strong systems and software engineering principles and practices. We've embraced modern technology mindset, agile approaches to problems and projects. And at our core, we're an applications focused company. When we look at software, we look at full spectrum application development and application sustainment, as well as providing engineering solutions for architecture of systems in general, software systems, and overall. We look to provide full spectrum integration of these systems as well. From my perspective, Array takes a very engineering disciplined approach to their solutions, to our solutions, I should say. And we're focused on the customer as well. We really engage with our customer as a partner in our programs, in our journey. So, for example, in my core area, cloud computing, it is really crucial that we have a good partner relationship with our customer.
Great, thanks, Bill. Frank, anything you want to add?
Yeah, Mike and Bill. Hey guys, good conversation so far. And I'll add in, as from an Array perspective, at least, as I coming into the company, and being able to engage and have the freedom and innovation, as Mike, as you said, at its core, we're a technology company, but we're also mission and customer focused, which allows us to deliver high quality solutions, whether that be anywhere from a modernization to a brand new cell-based application design with microservices, data that could be, setting inside of a data ocean or a data lake or a lake house, even with some BI setting on top of that, right? So Array's definitely got the ability and allows us as engineers to explore that innovation. So I definitely want to make sure that that's understood. I'll turn it back to you.
Great, thanks, Frank. Yeah, so let me run down really quickly the solutions that Array provides. Right, we just real quick overview, and then we'll dig into a couple of them here. So again, being an application services focused company, we do other stuff, but that's obviously one of the real big areas that we are focused on. Is one thing we do is modernization. Right, across all industry, whether you're federal government, DoD, state and local, commercial, there are a lot of legacy applications running. And so what we've done is, we focus on modernizing these applications so they can be, getting them up to the current standards, cloud native, et cetera. And, that's key. Second thing we do is application, right? So we develop applications, sustain them, we evolve them, we maintain the technical baseline of applications on behalf or in partnership with our customers, to make sure that the end user is getting the level of service they expect. And when we say the level of service they expect, we're talking about, modern best practices, right? Not just that a green screen flashes up, but if they need mobile, they get mobile. They get Amazon-like user interfaces. That's the kind of stuff that we're after in terms of our innovation. We're making the data and application as usable as possible. Next one, Agile DevSecOps. So Agile is a bit different than DevSecOps, obviously, but they really obviously play closely together. We do most of our projects using Agile methodologies. And again, that is a product delivery or product evolution methodology. And again, like you may have heard me say in the past, it's skateboard to Ferrari. So the customer comes to you today, says, I want a skateboard, says, I want a Ferrari. And I say, well, you can have a skateboard today. And tomorrow you can have a skateboard with a handle. And then you can have a skateboard with a handle and a seat. And eventually you work towards getting them the Ferrari or whatever they change their mind. Maybe they say, oh, it's not a Ferrari anymore, it's a pickup truck. But anyway, use an Agile product evolution process and methodology to get there. The DevSecOps part is a little bit different. That's pipeline. That's automating every step from concept to requirement all the way through pre-production, final test, fielding, and getting the application into production with the user. So that's really what that's all about. We just recently did or produced a video about the Array Agile DevSecOps solution. You should take a look at that. That's on our YouTube channel as well. Next one is cloud. As Bill pointed out, he's our cloud computing director. We have relationships with AWS, Azure, Google, VMware. We really like, so we have IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS services, but we really like focusing on the higher level services. SaaS, if it can be used. PaaS usually is really where we focus, right? And we use the IaaS that is provided from the cloud service providers. Another thing we're really big on is optimization. Once we get you to the cloud, is really taking it to the next level and using some of the cloud development kits that are available for artificial intelligence, machine learning, et cetera. And that's a huge area that we're moving towards in Array. Next one is data, and really anything data. Frank Manuel, who's on with us right now, is an accomplished data architect. We have a really strong data core in Array. And I'm not just talking about databases. I'm talking about advanced analytics, predictive analytics, but the foundations of reinforcement learning and machine learning and artificial intelligence. So data is a really big thing with us. And moving data, cleansing data, storing data, modeling data, you name it. We have those capabilities. Anyway, we'll talk more about that. Cybersecurity. So obviously we're a large customer set that we have is the Department of Defense. So military grade security is something that we provide. We do a lot with applying the federal and DoD standards, cybersecurity standards, to the solutions. Matter of fact, we apply that and we weave it into the solutions day one, right? We don't wait until it's an afterthought. For us, it's a forethought. It's part of the design. And that gives us really strong security and some real good innovations where we can do some penetration testing, where we can do some really rapid accreditation packages, et cetera. Next one is architecture. So we're really, we three are really well versed in architecture, whether that's DODAF, TOGAF, other architectural frameworks. We're specifically experts in application architectures, as one would expect, being an application-focused company. So we really are good software architects. We look at the way software code should be put together. We look at the way that you should componentize the code. Obviously, we're very good with microservices, the way that data is accessed and stored, APIs, and again, PaaS and SaaS we really like as well as part of a solution, right? So if we can use SaaS or PaaS as part of a solution, we really like to incorporate that instead of writing our own, custom software. Matter of fact, we really try to minimize custom software as kind of a foundational core belief, and that's because when you develop custom software, you have to maintain it, upgrade it, you kind of own it. So custom software to us really is, we try to keep that in the space of, unique business logic, right? So we implement software rules, or we write software rules to implement unique business logic. That's kind of the way we go forward with it. And then next one, system and software engineering. We're experts at systems engineering and software engineering, right? So anything to do with process planning, testing, quality, again, software architecture, software production, software quality, minimizing the complexities such as cyclomatic complexity, Halstead's complexity, et cetera. We're really applying some of the best software engineering practices that exist, right? We're big believers in the Software Engineering Institute. We're big believers in Watts Humphrey and Pressman and their processes and procedures from software and systems engineering. And then finally, operations. So operations, again, innovative service desk, kind of like what you call level zero, right? Automated service desks, peopleless or very few people service desks are obviously to drive down the cost and have a lot of self-service and a lot of bots and, knowledge bases. So we do that. We do maintenance, obviously. We do ops. We do maintenance. We do cloud SysOps. So we're trying to provide operations, running the software on a day-to-day basis in a way that makes sense. And that really goes all the way back to our design of software. Day one, not only do we weave in cybersecurity and make sure it's going to be robust, but we also weave in the ability to operate the software efficiently within the cloud by using automation, scripting, et cetera. Kind of everything is code is one of our mottos, right? There's infrastructure as code, but we like XAC, everything is code to us. So not only do we like PaaS and SaaS, we like IAC and XAC. So all these cool acronyms, but these things really work. That's why we care. And then you can see at the bottom, right? To us, mission and business needs drive everything. So we're not just out there doing technology for technology's sake. We are focused on, number one, that end user that's going to use that software and be more efficient and productive because of it. And two, that product owner that, again, under Agile, right? Remember, this is a product development, product evolution effort. We really are focused on that product owner and what they want to provide to their community and the way they want to provide it. So we're focused there. And with that said, let me turn it over to Frank. Frank, can you add a little bit of color on the data, some of the data expertise that we have in an Array and some of the things that we're good at in Array?
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. And thanks for the good intro there. So from an array perspective, again, as Mike mentioned, we have federal customers, state and local. We have a multitude, and at a company level, we're definitely in large. If I looked at it across all, it'd be in petabyte scales, maybe even higher. But we definitely have huge amounts and variations of different RDBMSs, and that could be from a Oracle 11G all the way to 12 to 19 databases, RDBMSs. It could be Oracle, it could be SQL, it could be Postgres. We just have a plethora of different tools and stuff that we work with. And different customers use that we support. We also obviously support data lakes, the NoSQLs, any kind of BI analytics, reporting, data warehousing. We're really big into trying to help our customers understand and mine their data, build out a data fabric, and be able to solution based off of the data, leveraging cloud-based technologies. As you said, we're very innovative here. We have some model-driven tooling and some logic that we leverage to be able to generate these benefits and wins for our customers. As you mentioned, we're really trying to push the envelope here to drive value to that end customer and focus from that perspective as quickly as we possibly can.
Yeah, great. Thanks for that, Frank. Hey, Bill, can you expand a little bit on our cloud computing capabilities?
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, we've been associated and working on several projects. I think, somewhere in the number of 15 or more projects around many areas of cloud, including cloud assessments, cloud readiness for customers. We go in and we evaluate their current, on-prem system or legacy data center systems, and we generate reports around what it would take to migrate to the cloud, what steps they should take, put together a executable plan to get them to the cloud, and then what it's going to take once they're in the cloud to refactor that application to become more cloud native, optimize that application, and make it the most cost-effective application to reside in that cloud environment. We've done things like mainframe, COBOL to cloud. We've done Microsoft application migrations to the cloud. We are an AWS APN partner. We're a Microsoft partner. We're a VMware partner. So we've looked at using VMware to go from a traditional on-prem data center using automation to AWS and Azure. We have those types of capabilities. We also have within Array, a cloud center of excellence. So we have staff members that are part of that center of excellence that are taking the APN courses, the Amazon APN courses. They're taking additional training. They're getting cloud certified in Amazon, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud. So we are really pushing to keep our staff members at the most current level with these cloud technologies within Array. And we highly encourage all the folks within Array to pursue these opportunities within the cloud area. We understand that cloud computing is a way of the future, and we want to make sure we have the best, most capable staff prepared to work in these cloud environments. So that's a little bit of what we've been doing within Array most recently. And like I said, we are looking at all of the available clouds, commercial cloud, and also on the DoD side, we have experience within the mil cloud environment as well, hosting applications. So that's a little bit within this area. Sure.
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit about the purpose of the Cloud Center of Excellence that Array has?
Yeah. The purpose is to stay up to date, stay the most current in cloud technology. So we have a team of folks that are part of that Center of Excellence. We collaborate on different areas of cloud. So for example, most recently we had one of our Azure experts come in and do a demo on infrastructure as code within the Azure cloud using the Azure DevOps tool. So he did a nice hour-long presentation to get the other folks that aren't as familiar with the Azure side of the house from a DevSecOps or infrastructure as code perspective, getting them to understand how it works in Azure and giving them a full spectrum demo. And then we can also take that demo out to our customers. So we keep those artifacts within that center of excellence. We can go to our client executives and let them know that we have these capabilities available and these solutions available. And then we can go out and present this to any clients that are looking for similar capabilities. So it really is a kind of a think tank, if you will, around the cloud area, so that we can collaborate within Array and let other team members and folks that are working on other projects stay up to date on what we're doing as a whole within Array, within the cloud area.
Yeah, great. Thanks for that. Yeah, I understand that the Cloud Center of Excellence is now supporting one of our programs that wants to move to the cloud, and they came to the cloud COE to request help. So that's really good stuff. Yeah. So, sake of time, let's move on here. So, what we just discussed were some of the solutions that Array provides, right? And again, anything we're a system integrator. Focused on application services, application development, sustainment, modernization. It really all revolves around the application with us, or at least at our core. We're obviously a fully capable IT company, so we can really do anything in the IT domain. AWS, Azure, Microsoft, Google, Oracle, VMware. There are a number of different technologies, and even some of the lesser technologies we're certainly well familiar with. Those full stacks we're familiar with, but we're familiar with others as well. And I should just mention too, on the modernization, we do work with a partner company called TSRI to do automated code conversion. And this is a real thing, and it really works. And what we do there is we take COBOL code or any kind of source language, and we convert it to a number of target languages automatically using a grammar-based tool. So we can take COBOL and convert COBOL to Java. We've done that successfully. We can convert COBOL to C# or VB6 to C# or you name it. So, and that's a really good accelerator on modernization projects, is to take your old business logic, which probably is very valuable to you, convert that code to a modern language, and then what we do is we use some auto refactoring to make that stuff cloud ready. So anyway, our Array solutions, this is the what, but let's now talk a little bit about some of the key characteristics of how we solution. So that was the what. This is kind of maybe the how a little bit, or at least some of the characteristics or core beliefs that we have around our solutions. And the first one is, for every solution that Array develops, it must be durable. And what does durable mean to us from in our vernacular? It means it's the right solution for the need. So we really spend a lot of time to make sure that we understand what the product owner wants to accomplish, what the requirement set is, what the vision is. And then we start thinking about, okay, well, what are the alternative solutions? We do an AOA, which is an analysis of alternatives, to really put some formality around specifying possible solutions, and then even weighting them and then ranking them against one another. And the second thing of durability is that it stands the test of time. And what I mean there is that we want to make sure if we select or we determine or we analyze and come up with a solution that is best for your requirement set, that is going to put you on a path of software evolution, so that you don't have to do big bangs. You can just evolve that software. So one big theme that we have is cloud native. We want to try to get you to a cloud native solution if it's possible. It's not always possible depending on what you're on, but that seems to be something that's really good. Get you on that longer run. So cloud native. So durability of solutions is important. So when you buy a solution, or when we work with you to develop a solution, we want to make sure that solution is going to be something that's going to serve you for a long time, meet your needs extremely well for a long time. Next thing is affordability. I mean, software is great, but it has to be affordable, especially now. The demand for software services and IT capabilities has never been greater, but the tools are really good too now. So because we know how to apply the right tool to problems, we can come in with some affordable options. And by the way, affordability is a component of our analysis of alternatives, right? We want to make sure we understand those costs. So when we're presenting your solution options, or your alternative solutions, if you will, you'll understand the cost, both for development and then ongoing sustainment, operations, hosting, cloud hosting, whatever it would be. So you have a total picture of your costs, and you can weigh those costs out against your needs, right? I think that is very important. Next one is we want to make sure we deliver a modern technical solution. And what does that mean? Well, it means that we want to help you transform to an Agile methodology and a DevSecOps approach using pipelines and what's called continuous integration and delivery. Again, more in our previous video on the DevSecOps solution if you want to know more about that one. But it's important that software organizations start really fully adopting Agile and DevSecOps. Can't say enough about it. If you're using waterfall, if you're using other methodologies, you really have to question why for software. Cloud native. So cloud native means that your application is well suited to go directly into AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, IBM Cloud, whatever. The reason that, so for an example, right, if you're running on the Solaris operating system, that is not readily available in the cloud, right? What's readily available are the Linux in variants. So Red Hat is a good one, but there's others, and Windows, right? Those are the best two. The hypervisors have been tuned for that. The Solaris operating system and it's the chipset that really ran Solaris previously had some advanced computing capabilities. They're really no longer needed, or they're not needed for most applications anymore. So to be cloud native, you want to make sure your application is built on the technologies and integration technologies and interfacing technologies that are going to port nicely to the cloud. By the way, there's more to cloud native than just that, right? There's the way that you design it. There's the way that you operate it using the SysOps model. So I don't just want to say it's like make sure on the right technologies. It's how you apply the technologies. It's how you containerize your application, how you develop, and you can see the next bullet there, microservices, right? How you develop the components and the code in the software architecture that's contained within your application. Very important. And the last one there is a clean, modern user interface. And here we're talking about making sure that, if we deliver a mobile app, that mobile app is on par with other mobile apps that your users are used to. For instance, again, I use the Amazon example, but there are many good mobile apps now that people use on a commercial basis, and we really try to build our mobile apps in that vein. Same with our web applications, right? If you're used to something on your computer screen, we don't want to we want to give you that same commercial experience the best we can, again, within an affordable framework, right? So we definitely do that. Very important, I think, for users to be happy, both in terms of functionality, but definitely also in terms of usability. And that goes into, right, we want to make sure that code will run on an iPhone, an Android phone. It runs on a tablet properly if it's a tablet application. So we really think that through on how we do that. Next one is delivered quickly, right? Key characteristic, we need to deliver quickly. So what you'll see is Array likes to deliver what's called a user first look environment. So as soon as we're developing that code in an agile fashion, which means 1 week drops, we want to get that code loaded up immediately onto a user first look and let some users, maybe not all, but some user representatives and the product owner, have a look at that code and provide feedback to us quickly. So if there's something wrong, we can fix it, and if it looks good, then we can promote it to the next step. And we do that using our end-to-end automated DevOps solution. So the second from the bottom there, easy to operate. Like I mentioned before, when we start building an app, we consider security and how you're going to operate it from day one, right? And we weave that into the design to make sure that, we don't just throw it over a fence to some operations team that doesn't know what they're doing. And of course, easy to operate for us is we're looking for SysOps in the cloud, generally what we're doing. But we also can do SysOps in VMware on-prem if somebody really needs that. Some people still like to have their data, or they have some reasons they have to have their data on-prem. We get that. So we do that as well. And then the last but not least, for sure, is maximum use of automation. We talked about infrastructure as code and everything is code and scripting everything. We really want humans. If we can code it once and keep the humans out of the loop, that's what we want to do. It saves labor. It's more predictable, less problems being injected, et cetera. So anyway, just wanted to, we talked about what our solutions were. Now we kind of talked about how we deliver those solutions in terms of the key characteristics of how we deliver solutions from an array perspective. And again, everybody's different. So that's just maybe how you get to know how array delivers. Let me, Bill, let me turn it back to you. Is there any key characteristics or any comments you want to make on this particular topic?
No, Mike, I think you've done a pretty thorough job of running through this. A couple more, technologies that we're, really looking at is serverless technology within the cloud, containerization, and being able to do blue-green type deployments through infrastructure as code capabilities, like you said. So it's really the modern set of technologies. That's what we're striving to get to within our solutions overall. But there are, like you stated, customers that don't quite need to get there too. So we all also obviously are always taking that into consideration to make sure that we're providing the customer with exactly what they need for their solutions.
Yeah. Awesome point on serverless. We do see the future as serverless. So containerized applications running on serverless hosting is really the way that, again, if customers are ready for it, we're definitely ready to get them there. Certainly that's where we want to go. And we should mention too that most people in the cloud COE are all AWS and or Azure certified professionals. So we bring that to the table. We really know how to use those technologies. Hey Frank, anything you want to add on how Array delivers solutions?
Yeah, no, I think you guys, that's a great point. And let me add a little piece to where Bill was going, Mike, as well as where you were going with the serverless, kind of tying back into the data, the microservices, and how we ultimately deliver the end product for the customer. Looking at the variations of tooling and stuff that we have here. Of like Lambda functions, for example, and the ability of innovation again, and IAC or XAC, and the ability to try to look at delivering solutions based on these technologies that kind of self-heal, right? So that's something that I'll throw out as, and what I mean by that from a self-healing is, as we have defined business logic and or thresholds that the customer is okay with or acceptable with. Could even be SLA numbers, right? But ultimately, the application within the cloud has the ability to understand itself, right? So it's self-aware. It knows, for example, if it has a data pipeline breaking, it knows how to pick that process back up and restart it. It knows if we have a data load failure into the data warehouse or something like that, and it knows how to restart the transformation process and notify and alert customers that this is going on. So when folks are using a BI perspective and they can't figure out why their data is not lining up, it gives you that quick ability to say, hey, I see my data didn't quite refresh just yet, but it's on the way or it's in progress or something like that. And I'll kind of leave it at that, Mike. But we're definitely super happy and innovative from serverless, Lambda functions, Azure functions, any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Frank. Appreciate that. Yeah, so hey folks, thanks for joining us on this. Again, we talked about the array solutions and who is array, and we talked about some of the key characteristics on how we deliver and how we see different I guess technology coming to go into practice. So we will continue to develop additional content on some of those more specific content on some of the services we discussed. I look forward to sharing that with you as well. But it is going to be around how we are applying innovation, how we are delivering fast, how we are using Agile methods, DevSecOps, serverless, cloud native, containers, etc. We really, this is kind of where we're focused, and our Cloud Center of Excellence in Array is kind of in the, right in the eye of that storm, if you will, of innovation, disruption, technology adoption, aspirational technologies, etc. So that's kind of where we're at. So I really look forward to some additional videos and sharing some more information with everybody. If there's any questions you have for us, you can contact us at sales@arrayinfotech.com and we'll get back with you. Or you can leave a comment below and we will read those comments and respond to the comments. So with that said, I appreciate it. Bill, Frank, thank you for your time. And for anybody that stuck with us this long, thanks for putting up with us. Have a good day.